How do you know when it's time to get divorced? Really quick, short answer to that question is when you stop looking forward to anything. I know for me, in my own life, I started to think about those things you're always looking for, you're always planning towards, like retirement, days on the beach, reading, I don't know, doing a bunch of nothing. And I realized in my heart that what that meant was a lot more time with my then spouse. That didn't make me excited. It actually kind of made me want to throw up. And so if the idea of time at the beach with your spouse stretched out endlessly in the future in retirement, low-key makes you want to vomit, it may be time to get divorced. And maybe it's not that strong, but you're just like, you know, I don't care. I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend the day with them, because here's the thing. A marriage that serves you, a partner that serves you, a spouse that you can share this one precious, beautiful life with makes you excited to do pretty much absolutely anything. It doesn't even have to be time on a beach. You may be running errands to Lowe's. Me and my husband now, I'm remarried. We had fun. We had fun going to Home Depot, getting a hot dog in a trash can last week. That can be you too. So if you want to know when it's time to get divorced, if you're pretty much not looking forward to anything with this person anymore, pretty good indication it's time to do something new. Why divorce does not mean you're a failure. To me, anytime I hear about somebody who's divorced, you know what I know? That person is brave. They're courageous, because whether it happened to them or they were the one instigating it, they decided to bet on themselves. And they didn't know exactly what was on the other side of it, because nobody knows. Nobody knows what life is going to be like for you on the other side of divorce. But what you know is you're going to bet on you. And whatever's out there beats whatever's going on in here. And you've taken the bold, courageous, bad step to bet on you and to do something different. Divorce doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you were brave enough and strong enough to say, the life I chose no longer serves me, and I'm gonna be brave and try something new. You know how you can know if your spouse is already planning the divorce? Is that creature of habit all of a sudden doing stuff all kind of different? Something's up. Especially like men and women, we get in these habits, especially as we get older. And we do mostly the same thing every day. And then if all of a sudden they're like wearing cologne or wanting to know where all the documents are saved or changing their passwords, it's a pretty good indication that something's going on. People don't just like up and change stuff. So that's probably the number one way you can know if your spouse is already planning the divorce. Did they start changing their habits? People ask me, have I ever made it? Am I ever truly healed after divorce? And I guess the answer to that question is yes, and. That's one of my things in life. I always say yes, and. You heal from the pain of it in the same way that you get scars. Like I've had C-sections, right? So I have scars. And do they still hurt me? No. But the scar is there as a reminder of the trauma that my body went through to bring those little creatures into this world. And for me, divorce is like that. You will heal. It won't hurt in the same fresh way anymore, but there will be scars as reminders. Like when there's a holiday when your kids are not with you, that's a scar. And it's not that it still hurts the 10th time you've done it the same way. Believe me, nothing hurts like the first time you do those holidays without the kids. But it does get easier. That old adage, time heals all wounds. Ugh. It sucks so much because it's true. That is, if you let it. Look, sis, bro, you can hang on to that anger and that bitterness if you want. If you want to ruin your life, if you want to be miserable, you can hang on to it, and it can never get easier, and you can never heal. That's your choice. But if you let it, if you try to have a little bit of an open and soft hand, then divorce can become a scar where you remember, but it doesn't have to keep you awake at night anymore. Should you stay in a bad marriage for the kids? No, 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 you shouldn't. Here's the thing, you have one wild and precious life, as Mary Oliver told us. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna live your entire life for everybody else? Hoping, I don't even know, think through that logically. You live your life for everybody else and you want your kids to go live a life that makes them happy. It's like, where does that leave you ultimately? And look, kids are not stupid. Kids are really smart. If you're miserable and you're married to someone who's maybe not that nice to you, they know. And there have been studies that are done over the long term about kids that show it's not the divorce that really harms and traumatizes the kids, it's the conflict. Ideally, if possible, you could do a divorce that's low conflict. That wasn't really an option for me. I don't know if it is for you. But I personally don't believe you should stay in a marriage for the kids. I don't think it serves anybody. And ultimately, in this world, all you got is you. Y'all, I'm sorry to break it to you, but everybody else can abandon you. Your kids can turn on you. Your spouse can leave you. Your mama can stop talking to you. And ultimately, it's just you. There's this poem my dad used to say to me about the man looking back in the glass. And the poem, gets to the point where it talks about you've succeeded in life if the man in the glass or the woman in the glass is your friend. I don't think I could be friends with the person looking at me in the mirror if she stayed in a marriage that didn't serve her, that made her smaller, that made her walk on eggshells. I don't think I would respect the friend looking back from me in the glass. I'm not friends with people I don't respect. So for me, there's any number of reasons I could tell you. Being on the other side of it, I know what you get out of choosing you, of betting on you. You get self-respect, dignity, for some of you, safety, courage, confidence, joy. All you got at the end of this is you. What else is the point but to enjoy it, to live into your purpose, to be loving? And there's this BS thing that people try to do to shame and guilt you about divorce, that somehow because you got divorced, you're a piece of crap. You can't ever keep your word. Look, yes, you make promises. And ideally in those situations, those two people can maintain those vows and those promises to each other. But a lot of times things change. And I just don't think you have to keep staying in that situation.